Nha. Nha.
Eu só troquei de novo porque não tinha aparecido a transição. Eu juro que eu vou terminar esse jogo essa semana. Eu não aguento mais. Quer dizer, eu aguento mais. Eu só não quero continuar enrolando, mas deu pra entender. Vamos lá. Eu tenho que ir. Pera aí. Deixa eu só botar o jogo aqui. Pronto. Load. Né? Todo mundo tinha morrido, verdade. Você acabou de me lembrar o que eu vim aqui fazer. Muito inteligente largar o corpo sozinho, sendo que você não sabe quem é o assassino. Muito inteligente.
What did you say? Come on. What? Hey!
E vocês vão... Um corpo desapareceu. O que a gente vai fazer? Largar o outro lá. Pra desaparecer também.
Indeed.
What did you say? Why? Hina.
Nossa, mas tá todo mundo perdido nessa desgraça, né? Sim.
What?
Oi, Nath. Largaram a menina lá sozinha. Morrendo, mas tamo aí. Ai, nem se preocupa. Hoje eu tô levemente melhor. Mas ainda meio morrendo. Fora o surrãos proletário. Você acha que ele tá ligando? Ele tem dinheiro. Ele não tá nem aí. Novamente, todo mundo sai e larga o lugar sozinho mesmo. É isso aí. Sakura versus Byakuya, quem ganha no X1. Eu falei, vai larga sozinho. Não, é muita inteligência, é muita burrice. É muita burrice. Você estava esperando o quê, gente? Você estava esperando o quê?
stop talking.
Oh não, os caras fizeram bosta e o vampiro ressuscitou.
Not possible.
Huh? Well... It is so.
Oh, a minha namoradinha nova, porra, já mataram. Já mataram a outra.
That's fine.
Let's see.
É, não, todo mundo tá chorando, mas tá na regra, você só pode matar 2 pessoas, mas tudo bem. Eu quero uma namorada, porra. Ai, quanto gado.
Let's see.
Perhaps.
Namorada é coisa de proletário.
In other words. What?
So that...
O quão longo eu posso deixar o... Pera aí. Eu quero ver um bagulho. Eu quero ver um bagulho rapidão. Um, 2, 3, 4. Posso colocar 5 opções. Ah, o máximo é 10 minutos. Deixa quando eu quando eu começar o trial eu coloco o bagulho. Pera. Não, já não é errado. Não.
I mean...
Hiro e Kyoko estão escondidos fumando baseado enquanto todo mundo teoriza. Ai. Mas aí eu ia fazer uma enquete de quem matou todo mundo, mas não vai dar. Ah, não. Eu esqueci de abrir o bagulho, então deixa eu fazer manualmente aqui rapidão, pronto. Mas não foi? Pronto, agora sim. Eu esqueci de abrir o bagulho, mas tudo bem. Pelo menos esse dá pra eu fazer. É que, né, como acabou de arrumar o VTube Studio, eu não... De preferência eu não quero matar meu PC tão rápido assim. Nada, né, nada esquisito. MC Carol. Finalmente roubaram o bagulho. É, então. Se bem que eu esqueci de fazer um bagulho, calma aí. Aqui. Não uso o microfone, não. Pronto. É, eu preciso terminar o lip sync. Claramente não tá 100%, mas o que é que tá 100% na minha vida? Nada, né? Onde é que era? Mas não, nada suspeito. Mas todo assim nem me fala. Nem me fala. Mas agora tá rodando tudo normal? Porque Eu lembro que da outra vez que eu fiz live do Danganronpa tava travando. Tem Juliette tava lendo. A Juliette e o nariz de palhaço dá pra eu colocar de boa. Eu ia tirar o Bonk e o outro bagulho, mas eu esqueci de tirar antes de começar a live, então hippie. Oi?
Indeed.
Goodbye.
Ah, que esquisito, não foi onde eu acabei de ir? Olá, Puffy! Sério que vocês vão fazer eu andar... Eles vão mesmo fazer eu andar até lá, mano. Puta que pariu. Ainda bem, porque na última live eu tinha notado que tava travando. Mas hoje tá mais de boas. É, sim, na porta que estava trancada. Eu não tenho outra escolha a não ser ir lá dentro. O Biaco já abriu a porta, tipo... Ai, que coisa de proletário. Eu sou um proletário no corretor. Ai. Ai. Ding dong, bing bong. Como sempre, ding dong, bing
A
bong.
body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Contemple proletário. Mano, como eu faio.
Stop talking.
Agora você me contrata o BDSM aqui. Vai, Makoto, dá logo a cena aí.
Is waiting for you. See ya later. What the heck?
Ah, ué, a gente... Essa... Rina... É tipo... O quarto caso. Por que você ainda tá tipo... Meu Deus, eles estão mortos. Sim. Sim. Um monte de gente já morreu nesse jogo.
That's terrible.
Meu nome é Miyako Yatogami, tenho 33 anos. Ou teria, se estivesse vivo. Bom, assim, na verdade, em termos ele tem 16, né? Porque todo mundo acabou de entrar no... É o ensino médio, né? Se é o primeiro ano do ensino médio, é 16. Acredito eu. Não sei. Eu não sei se no Japão é a mesma coisa. Eu acho que sim. Eu vou chutar que sim, não sei. E ela começou a chorar. Não faz isso, não. Não sei, não. Rifumi não. Por que não taca, tadinha? Ele tá...
Why?
Por que o fanfiqueiro? Por que o fanfiqueiro, mano?
Why?
Ai. O fanfiqueiro não. O fanfiqueiro não. Por que o fanfiqueiro, mano?
He's alive again?
Até o Makoto tá tipo de novo, mano.
Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming? Hifumi, wake up!
Ainda não grita, fia.
That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything. Before I met you, I met you all.
Eu acho que eu pulei sem querer o que o Byakuya tava falando.
The light. It's reaching out to me. Like the tail.
Vai demorar muito, Rifumi. Eu tenho que fazer.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
who killed me? That's right. I remember their name.
Meu nome é Miyako Toyangami, tenho 16 anos, eu fiquei uma psica academy. Quartos estão. E eu não sou casada, eu trabalho como chefe dos proprietários. Eu não fumo, mas ocasionalmente pratico BDSM.
Yasu.
E morreu. Porque o vampiro tá vivo. Ah, deixa eu fazer a enquete antes que eu esqueça. Calma aí. Vamos lá, vamos fazer a enquete. Quem eu coloco no... Pera aí, Togami. Você pode esperar um segundo, Togami. Deixa eu ver quem eu vou colocar nas opções. Pera aí. Ah, não pode... Ah, não é aqui. Tá bom. Pronto. Ele é rico. Olha a coisa de proletário.
Stop talking.
Você só tá com raiva. Feca que grui. Confia.
Then perhaps.
So, in other words,
O fanfiqueiro escreveu o fic dela e ela não curtiu. Gente, vocês acham mesmo que o Hiro... Vocês acham mesmo que ele ia ter a capacidade de imaginar um bagulho desses? Tipo, vocês estão com a cabeça no lugar, gente? Tipo, cê... Caralho, porra. Tá ocupado demais brisando, então, né? É isso? Ah.
very strange.
Well.
Acho que o chat na tela da live tá bugado. Pera aí, cadê? Ih, tá mesmo. Pera aí. Ah, não tem como eu... Pera aí, deixa eu... Tô. Espera um minuto, espera o overlay voltar. Pronto, agora é pra tá funcionando de novo. Pelo menos é pra tá funcionando. Ai.
Perhaps.
O que você tá fazendo aqui? Que pergunta?
Yep.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So then,
hey,
so in other words,
well, extreme! Well now,
Sim, apenas uma pessoa igual a todos os outros, porra. Isso acontece todas as vezes.
however,
indeed.
Claro que você tem certeza, Celis. Claro que você tem certeza. Lá vem ela de novo. Eu tinha esquecido que ela tava indo atrás do Byakuya.
SOB! Huh? You've gotta be kidding! What the heck?
Bom, você tem um bom ponto, Rina. Ela é uma serial killer. É.
What?
Ai, eu vou comer bananinho sem colher. Ai. Eu não sei como é que alguém teria movido o corpo do Hifumi, mas tudo bem. Vigiado seria traída.
What are you saying?
Let's see.
so then, it's all clear now.
Byakuya já não saiu de aqui, não. Nossa, o Hifumi tá tipo... Makoto, que coisa feia, Makoto. Olha o jeito que você fala do Hifumi, ele tá morto, mano. Que estranho, né? Que sumiu o sangue. Eu não quero falar com o Togami. Eu sei que eu tenho que falar com o Togami, mas eu não quero falar com o Togami, não. É, pois é, né? Que estranho, eu tava trancado. Por que será, né? Claro, mas você sabe que tava trancado, seu animal, a gente veio ver.
So then.
E na Sakura e Byakuya já não sabia o que não, foda-se. Eu ainda. Toda vez que eu vejo o robô da justiça, eu quero rir. Ainda bem que morreu, demorou até. Rifumi é cringe. Muito cringe o Rifumi, não dá.
However.
Gritar coisa de proletário. Basicamente todo mundo sumiu, né? Ninguém pensou que poderiam levar o corpo embora depois que a Celeste falou, mas o corpo desapareceu. O pior que ia na porta. Qual dos planos parece ser força bastante para mover o corpo do fanfiqueiro gigante, ou não. Contemple.
So in other words.
Aí que tá, ó, vocês chamam ele de burro, mas aí acha que ele teve inteligência suficiente pra fazer todo esse plano? Não faz sentido, vocês não fazem sentido. Quer dizer, ele é meio burro. Então...
What?
O Byakuya já tá ficando puto, tipo...
What? I see.
Ele não vai te falar. O Togami nunca fala nada. Não fala comigo como se a gente fosse amigo.
Goodbye.
Não compartilha informação com o proletário. Ah, eu ia perguntar quem tá aqui no meu pé, Atushi. O que ainda tem pra olhar? Ah, eu esqueci do mais importante. Tem horror a pobres. Tem sangue! Vamos pro mais perto, né? A gente já tá no terceiro andar. Para ter o dedinho na rodinha. Ai. Olha só quem tá aqui. Martela, martela, martelo, martelão. Levanta a mãozinha na palma da mão. Um carrinho de mão pra mover os corpos. Pois é. Eu sou a melhor personagem desse jogo além do Viaco e eu morro de inveja. Não, nada errado. Eu sempre me perco nesse lugar por causa desse corredor aqui. Eu sempre esqueço que esse corredor especificamente existe. Se bem que não tem nada aqui, né? Ah, não, tem sim, tem o martelo, o martelinho. Não é o martelão, é o martelinho. Alguém, pelo amor de Deus, bota umas decorações nesse corredor. Para a escola com mesa de sinuca. Aham. Deve ter algum estudante que é tipo o ultimate da sinuca, tá ligado? Eu tenho certeza que deve ter alguém. Certeza. Que alguém que é tipo jogador profissional de sinuca, tá ligado? Então, é isso que eu não entendo. Por que os moleques querem sair da escola? Assim, tipo, que não tem nessa escola? Você ganha comida todo dia. Você tem onde dormir. Você tem um monte de coisa pra fazer, tipo...
Let's see. Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Não precisa pagar a conta de luz, pega uma TV e um Netflix no seu livro e fica aí pra sempre. Não precisa pagar a conta de luz real, real. E tem ar puro, não vamos esquecer o ar puro. Porque tem o bagulho de ar lá no terceiro andar também. Eu não sou um vampiro. Você não, mas o Taka era. Você quer que eu olhe? Eu já olhei o martelo da justiça. O que é isso? Essa aqui era pro Taka, Makoto. Mano, eu começo por inclusivo, exatamente. 100% inclusivo.
Oh. Huh?
Coisinha. Por que você tá me procurando? Eu queria te agradecer pelo que você fez. Agora eu tô com medo do Byakuya. Não fala assim comigo não, mano. Mano, como eu chamo todo mundo, homem, mulher, cis, trans, viciado em aposta, vampiro, lobisomem, funkeiro.
It's all clear now. Goodbye.
Tá bom, né? Vamos no quarto do Hiro. Vamos lá. Eu fui na porta errada. Mas todo mundo é bem-vindo na escola do Monoko. Todo mundo é bem-vindo aqui. Todo mundo é levemente... Quer dizer, ninguém bate muito bem da cabeça? Não, mas... inclusividade, né? Kyotaka, Kyoko... Onde é o quarto do Hiro que eu nem sei? Byakuya, Sayaka... Nossa, mas o Byakuya mora tão perto do Makoto assim, uau! Toko, Shihiro, Celeste... Aoi, Saco. Cadê o quarto do Belinho? Aqui. Hiro? Quem que marca aqui? Nossa, mas agora o Hiro que tá isolado, tadinho. Literalmente ninguém daqui do corredor ainda tá vivo. Quer dizer, só a Sakura. Mas onde ela tá, tadinha? E olha onde ele tá, tipo... A porta tá destrancada. Acho que eu posso ir lá dentro. É... O Byakuya já deve ter entrado. É bem a cara do Hiro. Não, eu não cliquei, não queria clicar na porta. Ah não, era a porta mesmo. A letra não tá muito boa, né?
Just a second. Okay.
Nossa, agora o Makoto anda sozinho, né? Geralmente eu que tenho que andar ele até lá.
I mean...
O que o Hiro tá fazendo cosplay do nada então, né? Hiro?
Huh? Oh,
hey, Makoto.
Quem mais seria? Boa pergunta. Foi os Illuminati. Os Illuminati controlaram o governo. Ai. Aquele objeto ridículo. Oi, Kyoko, tudo bem? Eu chutei ele acordou.
Don't be mean.
Não acredito que você me chutou. É esquisito. Ah, é esquisito.
Well, it's nothing.
Não importa.
Hey. And?
I mean,
Esse jogo foi feito na droga. É porque você não viu os próximos.
let me out of here. Got it all wrong.
It would seem...
Medo.
So then,
Pera, que?
honestly, is that okay?
Como a Sally sabe que tava lá se ela não foi até lá?
Could it be? That's terrible.
Não faz sentido, gente, mas quem colocou ele dentro do bagulho se tinha que fechar o bagulho atrás do pescoço e ele não alcança?
Just the worst.
That's right.
É claro, quer dizer. Olha o drama ocupado.
What are you saying?
What the heck?
O drama Suzy Kakegurui mais ainda.
Huh. See, look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on.
A cara da Celis ali, tipo.
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
Então.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume.
Makoto, vai lá, mano. Mas vocês pegam logo o Makoto, o moleque é o mais baixinho de todo mundo.
Just a second.
Eu não sou nem um pouco suspeito. Eu só dormi, mano. Eu só fumei um mês e dormi.
Honestly.
What the heck?
Just the worst. That's terrible.
What?
Alguém fala com o coitado, mano.
What?
Hum. Essa roupa é coisa de proletário.
Please. Huh? How about that?
So then,
I'm at least 30% right.
correct.
Please.
E eles ainda acham que esse é o cara que conseguiu planejar 2 assassinatos. Não vamos esquecer disso.
Oh, so then. Hey.
Just the worst.
Puta, o argumento do top.
Don't be mean.
Just a second.
No way. Please.
Ai, Rina, para de... Não, para, mano. Foi assim que a gente quase morreu da outra vez também. O cara quer fugir desse lugar top. Então, né?
Just the worst.
Tadinho do Hiro, mano. Nossa, você deixou a... Nossa, você deixou a Jill lá em cima, mano.
Makoto. It would seem... Why is that?
Não.
Anyway, shall we go?
Ai, não.
Correct. Hey,
Concordo. Como é que eu pra eu responder?
anyway,
Ai, mano, lá vamos nós. Ah, não é aqui. Ai, mano, por que esse lugar tem que ser tão confuso? Onde que era a escada pra cima? Eu acabei de vir de cima. Ah, tá aqui. Eu só sou burro mesmo. Mas eu não sei porque os caras querem fugir, tá ligado? Porque você quer fugir, mano, tem literalmente de tudo dentro do bagulho. Então não tem internet, mas, né? Considerando que dá pra você fazer 300 mil coisas, acho que não precisa.
so then, I knew it.
Então, você descobriu alguma coisa, Fia?
I see.
Encontrei... O que você encontrou?
Hey,
Ele tinha um relógio? Aham.
so then, that's right.
Continuo não sendo suspeita também, então, né?
However, Makoto,
Nossa, você não viu que tinha um bagulho na mão dele, mano? Como assim?
because
Eu não confiaria no Makoto pra fazer um bagulho desse, mas ok. O vampiro Super Saiyajin.
hey, is that right? So then,
A gente achou um pedaço de papel. Ok. Puta skill de observação Sherlock Holmes. Não, a gente tá preso nessa escola há o quê? Tipo, um mês? E aí, tipo, a quinta vez que alguém é morto e ele ainda tá tipo, eu não sei o que fazer.
indeed. That's right. Indeed. Why is that?
Você tava do lado dela.
Hey,
Por que você sempre manda o Makoto fazer as coisas, tadinho? O moleque nem sabe o que tá acontecendo.
so... However, is that right? So...
Se esse menino Makoto só serve pra ser mandado, então, né?
Hey. So then,
Gente, é só vocês colocar um papel do lado do outro que vocês vão ver se é o mesmo ou não.
hey. Is that right?
Como é que a Kyoko sempre sabe mais do que o Makoto, né? É incrível. Mas esse povo é muito burro. Ai. Ding dong, bing bong.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death.
Meu Deus, mano, cada dia que passa tá ficando pior.
With no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
Já fui suspeita pra caralho hoje.
Shall we go?
E lá vamos nós.
Monokuma appears!
Ele se multiplicou.
Wrong. Boy, tough crowd.
Stop talking.
Okay.
Ok.
Hey, hey!
Let's go. Please.
Não precisa, não tô mentalmente preparado ainda.
What the heck?
Hey,
That's right.
Nossa, a gente tem menos pessoas agora. Tem 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Só tem 8. Só tem 8 pessoas agora. Hip. Top 10 rivalidades de anime, todo mundo versus Hero. Não tem mais ninguém, tá ligado? Já acabou todo mundo. Todo mundo tá morto. Todo mundo já morreu, tá ligado? No jogo inteiro.
Come on.
Sim, eu quero salvar. Eu tenho alguma skill nova? Vamos lá.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Oh, meu Deus, Rina, cala a boca, mano.
It was Hero. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found it in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hero, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Do nada virou Rota foi Boyfriend, Bad Boys Love Road.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Eu sei uma coisa, eu só queria deixar passar o bagulho inteiro, calma.
The blueprints, the suit parts.
No, you're wrong. Eu não seria capaz de criar um desenho de um boneco. É com o pai do ano, então, né?
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the
Foram os Illuminati.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Ele é muito burro pra isso.
The differences are bigger than that, I think. Come on. I'm not smart enough to
Exatamente.
change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hero is innocent as well.
Nossa, que isso? O Piaco ia defendendo um proletário.
Then who was in that robo-justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone
No.
running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Who was in the robo-justice suit?
Os Illuminati.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro.
Até o Hiro sabe que é burro demais pra isso, mano.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
Oh, meu Deus, gente.
Things have a proper order.
Vocês não conhecem, parece que vocês não conhecem o Byakuya, tá ligado?
So what is it?
Eu vou dar meu argumento, mas o proletário vai continuar. O proletário termina. Terminar o argumento é coisa de proletário.
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto,
Eu amo que os Illuminati são uma opção legítima. Aham.
I got it! I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain.
Explicar é coisa de proletário.
Taka's body
Ai, mano, a cara não aguenta, cara. Não tô aqui na
and
porta,
then we
mano.
rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the
Sundara esse
repository,
proletário.
so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken? Huh? Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
Não, eu tenho prova,
she's
porra.
raised an objection. How do you respond?
Tô vendo, por que você tá falando desse jeito comigo, mano? Vê se para.
There's no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Ainda me chama de porra.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on.
Eu que resolvo todos os seus casos. Como assim?
You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Eu não lembro como recarrega. Ah, tá.
I
Lembrei.
cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. not agree.
This should prove it.
Já fui suspeita hoje.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
Nenhum.
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
A gente sabe o que quer dizer Makoto? Você não precisa pensar no que quer dizer Makoto.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No.
No, he's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember? When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
Tá bom, né, Ju?
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Mas não dava pra abrir?
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero
Não,
wasn't
por que
just
você
making
achou
it
que
up.
ele tava tentando?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Exatamente.
That's right.
So, it's really, really true that
Meu
Robo
Deus do
Justice
céu.
couldn't move the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said? So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Oh meu Deus, Rina, não seja burra, mano.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
Exatamente.
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems
Será que
I
Holmes
was
está falando?
unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
and then... At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, Then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Vamos lá, né?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's...
I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came... So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what order Taka came last.
Ô, porra.
What makes you say...
Because of the numbering...
It's true that while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Ih, eu esqueci de catar o...
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say...
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came...
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the
No.
Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while
Ai,
Taka's
que
death...
desgraça.
See? So it's obvious Taka came... So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in.
Não, eu taquei errado de novo. Que desgraça, mano.
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came...
Tá, Makoto, cala a boca.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what Taka
No.
came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Tá,
It's true
vamos,
that
agora eu
while
consigo.
Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came... So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was after... We already know what order they were killed in.
Pronto, amém. Deus é pai. Caralho. Dificuldade pra acertar o bagulho.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
it must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night, If it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
Quero provas proletários. Eu adoro que o Byakuya pede prova, tipo, mas ele sabe, tá ligado? Ele já sabe o que tá acontecendo.
That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Será mesmo?
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing.
Eu consigo
And
explicar, mas
according to what Celeste
é porque eu
said,
já sei. Aparentemente o proletário não tem bom senso.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Exatamente, porra.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another...
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Sim, é possível. A gente tem prova disso, porra.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Eu vejo gente morta.
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Wait, but that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Eu adoro que todo mundo fica tipo, e você, urso? E aí?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Porque outra pessoa havia morrido?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
Oh, que
when we found Hifumi
dificuldade.
the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Hã?
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Eu tenho prova.
Okay then.
Eu
Let's
tenho
take another
prova.
look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Eu tenho prova que ele ainda tava vivo. Caralho.
Well, here's one thing we do.
Meu nome é Yoshikage Kira. Tenho 33 anos. Minha casa fica na parte nordeste de Moryo, onde todas as casas estão. E eu não sou casado. Eu trabalho como funcionário das lojas de departamentos Camille e chego em casa todos os dias às 8 da noite, no máximo. Eu não fumo, mas ocasionalmente bebo. Estou na cama às 23 horas e me certifico de ter 8 horas de sono. Não importa o que aconteça. Depois de tomar um copo de leite morno e fazer cerca de 20 minutos de alongamentos antes de ir para a cama, geralmente não tenho problemas para dormir até de manhã. Assim como um bebê, eu acordo sem nenhum cansaço ou estresse pela manhã. Foi-me dito que não houve problemas no meu último check-up. Estou tentando explicar que sou uma pessoa que deseja viver uma vida muito tranquila. Eu cuido para não me incomodar com inimigos, como ganhar e perder. Isso me faria perder o sono à noite. É assim que eu lido com a sociedade e sei que é isso que me traz felicidade. Embora, se eu fosse lutar, não perderia para ninguém.
That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Cadê? Aqui.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggle.
Como é que você lembra, Rina?
An angel, pretty pudgy princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be comfortable with a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Rina tá sabendo, hein? Então, né?
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Eu jamais usaria lenço de proletário.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere!
Acho que o chat bugou de novo. Pera aí. Cadê? Aham. Um segundo. Bup. Bup. Overlay, tudo bom? Aí, voltou. Pronto.
But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point,
Era glitter.
Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, He dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
É, gente, eu
If
fanfiqueiro.
you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
Por que
He
eu?
took off of Taka's lifeless body.
Por que eu? Por que é sempre eu?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
See, then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time? Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, it's wrong.
Já não sabia o melhor personagem com o Pihaku, que é meu casal. Eu adoro o Dio. Eu real adoro o Dio.
There absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Meu Deus, para de mandar eu mostrar tudo pra vocês. Caralho. Nem era pra eu estar nessa escola, eu só fiz sobre tudo. Ou talvez não, né?
I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with
Sim,
the
por que eles
note
não
we
fizeram
found
isso
hidden
antes? Muito bem.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
É sério que demorou tudo isso pra todo mundo notar a caceta?
In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Oh meu Deus, Hiro, não.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
Weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment
Eu
room.
tenho a resposta, Hiro.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right though. I don't understand it either.
Eu entendo, eu tenho a
Monokuma
resposta.
file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Hiro, para de usar droga.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Tipo de coisa, não quer dizer que foi a mesma coisa.
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Vamos lá que eu sei o que é.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Ah, não. Oops.
What was used to... Was it just maybe Justice... Well, there's one... How was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its... Check out murdergear.com/hammer for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, it's wrong.
Martelo, martelo. Levanta a mãozinha na palma da mão.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely
Eu não
different.
chamaria de completamente diferente.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, All the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used the hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Eu sinto que a regra foi muito bem explicada, mas tudo bem.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible.
Good. No, it's wrong. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward.
Makoto, cala a boca.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Exatamente,
And it only
finalmente.
looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still,
Opa. Tô sentindo meus olhos se multiplicando infinitamente. Multiplicando finalmente.
Who was the one pulling Hifumi
E o culpado é...
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit brain, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Acho que isso responde a pergunta.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Shoot!
Que não?
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now. Sorry. As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up
The
to
cake is
physics
a lie. Basicamente.
it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole
Nossa,
thing
gente,
was
vocês
one
demoraram pra notar, né? Que tinha alguma coisa esquisita.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait, then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Meu Deus, gente.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that.
Carai, que gente dramática. Todo mundo é dramático.
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain?
Eu consigo explicar. Pode deixar. Deixa comigo.
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Exatamente.
So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's
Não,
timer
não,
to...
não, não, não. Não, Hiro, não.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
Na real,
I
não.
told you was a lie. How can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow
Meu
me
Deus,
to
calma.
educate you.
Calma, Celeste, calma.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious...
Ah, como não?
Shoot! You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
Then you just draped it. You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way...
Ah, tá. Eu só atirei no errado mesmo.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! My name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone.
Tem certeza?
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well? Do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
E lá vamos nós, né? Mais uma vez.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name.
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
Parece do My Little Pony.
It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me.
Ah, eu tenho. Dá licença que eu tenho, pera aí.
That's it! The handbook!
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please. Just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over
Tá
the
contando
case
sempre que é
again.
sempre você que tem que fazer isso, mas
And
tudo
shed
bem.
light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Não, não é isso. Ah, eu já sei qual é o ali. Pera aí, volta. Vamos ver se tá certo, mas eu não sei. Eu sinto que eu troquei algumas partes.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crime. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Tão dramático. Que dramático. Só pra falar que é ela.
Lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Keiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Yay! Acabou. Caralho, eu fui estranhamente bem dessa vez.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Honestly.
I knew it. So then,
This is fine.
Agora vem a melhor parte desse jogo inteiro. Por favor, prestem atenção. Essa é a minha parte favorita desse jogo. Porque eu tinha um sonho.
Honestly. As for me, isn't it wonderful?
O sonho da Celis era viver num castelo europeu. Quase isso. Quase ser um gangster. Só que não. Ter um harem. Aham.
This is fine.
Gente. Celestial Horny Monkey.
There is nothing to be done. Just the worst.
E seleteste Giovanna, Red Dream.
Olá, Suzu. Olá.
Do you understand?
Gente, vocês esqueceram que ela literalmente catou dinheiro de todo mundo? Vocês são idiotas?
What is this? Yes, indeed. Isn't it wonderful?
Hey,
Olha só, você chegou bem na hora. Bem na hora pra ver ela morrer.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then,
Você chegou na hora pra ver ela morrer?
Me dá danoninho.
Ué.
Danoninho já. Danoninho dá. Danoninho dá. Ponto
Ao
dá,
som de
danoninho
Danoninho ainda.
Me dá danoninho.
Perfeito.
Danoninho já. Danoninho dá. Danoninho dá. Ponto dá. Danoninho dá. Me dá danoninho. Danoninho já. Danoninho dá. Danoninho dá. Ponto dá. Danoninho dá. Me dá danoninho. Danoninho já. Danoninho dá. Danoninho dá. Ponto dá. Danoninho dá. Me dá danoninho. Danoninho já. Danoninho dá. Danoninho dá. Ponto dá. Danoninho dá. Me dá danoninho. Danoninho já. Danoninho dá. Danoninho dá.
Mas eu posso dizer que eu adoro a execução da Celeste. Só isso que eu queria dizer. Eu acho que de todas do primeiro jogo é a minha favorita. Ela foi queimada? Aham. This girl is on fire. Que isso, gente? Ela matou duas pessoas. Quer dizer, ela matou uma pessoa, mas não importa. Você perdeu a parte importante, Suzuya. Não quero ventilador, tá calor pra caralho. Ela que matou o fanfiqueiro, exatamente. Ela matou o fanfiqueiro. Agora ela morre. Alguém apaga o fogo dessa menina. Mas é. Vai, Celis. Ia dizer pouco injusto. Ia ser canonizada por matar o fanfiqueiro. Se ela tivesse escapado, sim, mas ela não conseguiu mentir o suficiente. Fazer o quê?
Extreme! What are you gonna do?
É F no chat.
Let me out of here!
Too bad.
Não te interessa.
Hey, hey! What?
So then.
Ooh.
Hey,
Ooh, how exciting!
Adoro que a motivação dela pra tornar o Hiro suspeito porque ele é um idiota. Não, é literalmente... é literalmente tipo, mas por que eu? Porque você é idiota. Kyoko? Calma, gente. Plot twist. Plot twist. Hiro. Aham. Ele era só porque ele era um idiota. Era só isso.
Well, see ya later!
O Monokuma fez alguma coisa com aquilo. Aham.
so.
Ainda bem que o Fanfiqueiro já morreu. Ai.
Hey,
Indeed.
Chipado. Ai. Vocês ainda nem viram quem é o Monokuma. Tipo, quer dizer, quem tá por trás do Monokuma. Calma, gente.
Hey,
What?
so.
Come on.
Nível Rapsol Shrek. Tem um cara dentro da fantasia? Mais ou menos isso. Sim, é um anão. É mais ou menos isso. Mais ou menos. É um anão Jackass. Ai.
What?
É minha namorada, deixa eu ir. Então, sorry. Ai.
Goodbye.
well then.
Por que eu ia falar por que o Makoto, mas namoradinhos? Rina, por que você tá com essa cara, mano?
Okay.
Hã?
Shall we go?
É claro, não é como se eu já tivesse. Como se minha outra namorada não tivesse morrido exatamente assim também, mas claro. Vai fazer perder tempo.
So then.
Rina, what the fuck? Não. Você tá... Você queria que... Pera. Você queria que fosse outra coisa? Se você queria que fosse outra vez, você me avisa. Você avisa? Não é fácil?
However, what?
Preocupado. Eu não sou suspeita.
Indeed.
Não. Eu acredito em você. Porque você é minha namoradinha. Eu entendo. Nossa, que curto e grosso.
It's true. That's fine.
Tá bom, vou te contar.
Correct.
Suspense. Como ela poderia saber disso? Será que é porque ela entrou? Será que é por isso? Mano, dá pra ver exatamente onde tá cortado o bagulho. Caralho, mas você foi parar aonde pra fazer tanto barulho? Hã? É, pois é, será que é porque tava cortado o bagulho? Tava literalmente cortado, dava pra ver a sombra do negócio cortado. Caralho, Makoto.
Correct.
Faltou a passagem secreta atrás da estante da biblioteca, né? Tadã! Tchau, Makoto. Foi bom ter você por aqui, Makoto. F no chat, por favor. F Makoto. F proletário. Macoito, não. Que horror. F Maicão. O assassino claramente tinha calvície. usava máscara e não tinha informação do cabelo. Mandou com uma careca. Mortal Kombat. Vai, Sakura. Oh.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay.
Ok.
You do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
Karate Kid. Agora a gente tem 7 alunos. Yay! Só tem mais 7 pessoas vivas. 7. 7. Do tanto de gente que entrou nessa bosta dessa escola. Sobraram 7. Tá todo mundo morrendo. Leon matou a Sayaka. Monokuma matou a Junko. Aí o Leon foi executado. O Mondo matou a Shihiro. Aí ele foi executado. Hifumi matou o Taka e a Celis matou o Hifumi. E aí ela foi executada também. Agora só tem ninguém. Ai, só tem 5 de nós, Pois é.
Indeed.
Makoto, por que você tá me encarando, Makoto? A Kyoko, tipo...
Cause, I mean...
Não se esqueçam que tem mais um andar, seus animal. Agora a gente tem mais um andar, porque morreu mais alguém.
I see.
It's true.
You got it!
Pense em pensamentos felizes, não em pensamentos de morte.
You know? We're serious.
Well...
According to the spirits,
However,
O quão certo você tá?
how about that?
Geralmente é 30%.
It's not like some occult mystery. The occult is bullcrap.
So,
You got it all wrong.
So...
Eu não sei o que isso tem a ver com o oculto, mas, né?
Actually,
Ai, eu adoro essa parte do jogo. Ai, eu lembro dessa parte do jogo. Ele foi comer um hambúrguer, um hamburgão. Foram os Illuminati.
Some crazy beam came out of nowhere and locked onto my hamburger.
É hambúrguer. Hambúrguer.
And as soon as the beam touched it, the burger started floating in midair.
É, o hambúrguer dele foi abduzido. Essa é a história.
And then, still floating there, the entire burger started coming apart. One part of it just vanished, while the rest fell back into my hand. Do you realize what that means? It means the burger wasn't 100% beef. It must have had some pork or something mixed in. Something like 70% pork and 30% beef would be my guess.
Essa é a história, yay!
You can't trick me. How about that?
Eu meio que me perdi no meio.
Don't be mean.
Tá tudo bem.
Yeah.
Of course.
Indeed.
Bom, ainda sobram duas outras pessoas, né? Mas tudo bem.
Well,
But
Capítulo 4. All Stars. Não, botar errado. Ops. Deixa eu salvar de novo, só pra garantir. Lá vou eu na minha quest de achar as escadas, né? Porque eu nunca sei onde é as escadas. Não. Onde era a escada desse andar mesmo? Aqui. Bom. Essa escada pra baixo. Quer ver que eu sempre conseguia me enfiar no bagulho da escada, agora eu não vou achar. Não. Falando que eu não vou achar. Ah, achei. Aqui.
Hey. So... What? That's fine. Because...
Eu imaginei que fossem vir atrás de você, mas eu deixei você ir do mesmo jeito. tipo, sei lá, era só um experimento, não era nada demais.
Let's see. That doesn't matter.
Você tem que ser um caminhão, Makoto, um caminhão.
Just a second. So, listen to me. So then, am I wrong?
Caralho, 5 segundos de conversa e ela já sabe que eu estou escondendo alguma coisa dela. Meu Deus.
What? Hey.
Não.
Correct. However,
Tá, mas você tinha prova concreta, eu não.
that's fine. Goodbye.
Não interessa, a gente não tem prova concreta ainda. A gente precisa falar com a Sakura primeiro. Não me importa. Aqui foi de onde eu vim, né? O que é isso? O quê? Note como, tipo, todo mundo tá com um uniforme diferente. Menos a Celis. Ela tá sempre com essa roupa. Nenhuma arte ela tá com outra roupa. E ela vem ele de novo. Você é falso. Nossa, ainda me chama de falsa.
Hey, too bad. Hey, it's true.
Pois é, né? A foto é de verdade. Que triste. Claro que não abre, porque abriria, Makoto. Que pergunta idiota.
So then,
Tá bom.
Hey, Makoto. That's right. Okay.
Proteína. Claro. Claro que você tá feliz com isso, né? Não Claro. É, aparentemente é todo mundo, né? Só tem a gente agora na escola inteira.
Yeah. Okay.
It's true.
Huh?
Well,
However,
Não, é um laboratório, é claro que tem veneno.
But how about that?
Eu não. Não, não. Não.
Hey, come on now. Unbelievable. Your teacher had such faith in you. And this is how you repay me? With betrayal? This is kind of depressing. Too bad. Well,
É óbvio. Não estaria trancado se não tivesse, né?
in other words,
Bom, eu acho que vocês não queriam pular do quarto andar até o chão, né? Também. Tem isso.
so that's right. What's your deal?
Aposto que é sua culpa. Nossa, eu nem fiz nada, mano.
For serious? How about that?
Por que meu pai tava fumando na cama?
Perhaps.
É incrível como as janelas não estarem cobertas com placas de metal. É a parte mais importante da foto, né?
But
Conspiracy! What?
so then,
Caralho, nossa! Eu senti a facada daqui.
because
Hey, come on.
Mas, Keia, como assim? O que você tá fazendo aqui, Byakuya? Você quer? Nossa, ainda me chama de feio. Beleza, beleza. Você vai ver pra saber se você pedir pra eu mostrar evidência pra alguma coisa? Beleza.
You know?
Por que você tá pedindo desculpa?
That's right.
Hey,
That's fine. Such ignorance.
Uau.
Okay.
Pô, só tem 5 pessoas, né? O que pode acontecer? Deixa pra lá. Eu não falei nada. Não. Deixa quieto. Nossa, sério que vocês vão me fazer andar até lá só pra clicar na porta? Meu Deus, jogo. Por que, jogo? Oi, Toco. Quanto tempo?
What's your problem?
Ai, meu Deus.
How about that?
Well,
Oh. A gente não pode só falar com o alter ego. Ai, meu Deus. Oi, Dio, tudo bom?
How about that?
Por que o Makoto, mano? Por que sempre o Makoto?
I'm on fire.
hey.
É sempre o Makoto, tadinho.
Correct.
I see.
Just a second.
Nossa, só sai. Ok.
So then,
Leave it to me.
I see.
Gente, vocês estão... Não. Vocês são muito burros. Ela só falou que foi o diretor que pensou nisso, mas em nenhuma parte até agora ela falou e deixa eles se matarem aí dentro. Mas tudo bem.
just a second. I see. That's right.
So,
Hey,
Indeed.
E lá vamos nós.
The headmaster?
Okay.
Isso responde sua pergunta, Suzuya, se o cara era careca? Então, é um cara com 30 anos, então pode ser um careca.
Perhaps. For serious.
No matter what?
So,
So then, hey,
Ele é careca. Eles estão todos mortos.
anyway.
I see.
Indeed.
but,
But,
well,
hmm. Hey. Huh?
that's right.
Tudo é nosso amigo, né? É, não, já tem tão pouca pessoa, todo mundo já morreu que até o computador virou nosso amigo, é isso.
How about that?
So, hey, just a second.
Wait.
A Kyoko tá muito puta com o Makoto, nossa senhora.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Anyway, at the very least,
However,
would it be...
I see.
What the heck?
anyway, so, correct. No matter what?
Well,
So then,
Yep.
É, vambora. Acho que vambora.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Please.
Deixa eu te ajudar a acertar o seu chakra.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bug bite.
Correct. Hey. It's true.
Hora de nanar, é isso. A mimir.
And that's the secret origin story of Monokuma.
Good morning, everyone. It is now 7 a.m. and nighttime is officially over. Time to rise and shine. Get ready to greet another beautiful day.
E lá vamos nós novamente tomar o café da manhã com as nossas outras, com os nossos outros, tipo, 3 amigos que ainda existem nessa escola.
What's your problem?
Eu não quero perder. Não é uma competição de comida, gente.
You know? You know?
Just a second. Just the worst.
Mas eu não fiz nada dessa vez.
Please.
Gente, é tipo 6 da manhã, 7 da manhã. Chega.
Hey, come on. You know?
que o Makoto quer namorar com todo mundo, meu Deus, tadinho. Meu Deus do céu. Será que é porque ela tava batendo no Monokuma, talvez? Makoto só quer uma waifu, mano. Ninguém deixa a menina em paz, tá ligado? É, né? Tipo, a única namoradinha que ele teve morreu na primeira parte, tá ligado?
You got it.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You know?
What's your problem?
What the heck?
Ah, não, de novo não. Vocês duas param, pelo amor de Deus. Ai, já que chegou no free time, chega por hoje. Amanhã a gente faz o free time e o resto do capítulo. Volta pro menu. Sim. É isso, meus queridos. Chega por hoje. Au. Au. Bom, a gente tá no capítulo 4. 4 de 6. Tá finalmente quase terminando. Depois de muita tragédia, tá finalmente quase terminando, mas tudo bem. Ai, mas é isso, meus queridos. Até amanhã aí. Bye, bye. Oh, porra, não consegui pausar o microfone. Nha.